Ooh,
yourself.
I'm going to do that too.
Yeah.
Let's stretch further into radiance. That seems like a very
Yeah.
good idea. Maybe our audience will join us in stretching further into radiance. I'm excited to be here. We have a card for today.
We do. And so our theme today is evolution. We titled the video Evolution: Why Most People Fear Change. And this was inspired by today's card pool. The problem is us, and the solution is us. Be brave to change yourself. And the book further states, be the change. That is the solution. Period. The end. Mic drop. All right, it's been good, you all. I'm Cash and Veritas. See you later. Got it straight off the top.
But before we go, would you tell us about what's coming up soon?
Visit our website for more details. All right. So, again, we're going to dive into this through the theme of relationships, because this exists not only within arm's reach. I can see this dimensionally. I can see this within our family, our friends, coworkers, etc., our communities. And then I could see it within the things that are extended beyond us that we are in relationship with, which is our country, our government, the different corporations and institutions, and expecting other people to change their belief or their perception when that's clearly not the solution. We've already given you the solution, but we're going to dive deep into why and how, and exploring this and what this dynamic really looks like, and how I've thought about how this has been the golden rule. This idea of it's all about you. Uh, be the change you want to see.
Yes.
And it escapes us. People are like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But what about them? It's like, forget about them. But we're going to dive into more of the mechanics and understandings. So before we do, just a couple of announcements. Lao Tzu Soul Translation class is coming up next week, Tuesday, the Luminous Life Method. This is a protocol that is extension of Soul Translation that is used to curate a lifestyle that is of integrating light. And this ranges from literally pulling in energetic light in the way in which we do through energy hygiene practices, but then also there are other ways of pulling in light beyond just energy. There's also through our food lifestyle. There's the literal time within the sun, connecting with the earth, circadian rhythms, fasting, detoxification, the foods that we eat, the different things that we spend time doing that is expanding our light quotient or diminishing our light quotient, especially for people who are in the mind and understanding that I'm light and I need to expand my light because somewhere down the line my light got eclipsed and diminished. So I want to be more light. This is a path for how you can be more light, but unique to you, which this is where the prerequisite sun calibration comes in.
Right.
Where within of a sun, we are always gearing the soul to being sovereign, to being free, to where you live in the answers. Yeah, phone a clearer, phone a friend, phone a calibrator. But we're often going to say, hey, did you check with your guidance? Because we've taught you how to check with your guidance, but position you where you have checked and you can bounce that off of someone else. But this idea of sun calibration, it's a prerequisite where you can learn how to get yes and no information through your body's intelligence. And through the Luminous Life Method, you'll identify what is best for you where you are. Because all of the different things that we're going to be looking at in terms of what will help expand and increase the light quotient, it's not a one size fit all.
No.
And so it's a beautiful thing and very unique to each soul. So you have any thoughts you want to share with the general public?
Yes, the class will be an adjunct for those who are in light body and those who have not come to light body, who want to have practical ways, day to day, practical things that don't require big investment or don't require outside technology for you to gain back the power of your blueprint that has been lost in the many millennia that we have been guided away from who we are. So, this is a way to step in at your own level, however you want to, what best suits you, and that can be calibrated in your best and highest behalf so that you can be the greater aspect of yourself at your own pace based on your own determination. So it's freedom, freedom, and truth, and truth and freedom.
That's all we serving at the restaurant. It's just on this menu. Freedom, freedom, truth. What else you got? Oh, we got some
Truth.
a little dipping side of truth on the side to dip your truth in. I like that. All right, so
For
everyone,
dessert.
icy truth. Nice chilled, frosted truth, caramelized truth.
Yeah.
All right. We're dragging the joke on, but the point is the uniqueness of this is so on point. I really like this, and I'm excited because I know one of the first things that you're going to be going through, and this is a 3-day class, by the way. It's a little different than some of the intensives that we have, where it's like four days, 8 days, etc. But 3 days intensive, an hour and a half each day, held on Tuesday, starting next week Tuesday. So one of the first days you're going to be going into like, who are we? Like really understanding this as it relates to the light and helping us integrate it. And I think that's something that's very important because, you know, it almost seems kind of abstract.
It is.
I'm the light, but like, what does that mean?
Oh, it is quite abstract. I mean, when we think about what happened a few years ago, when somebody walked up to a woman and said, "What's a woman?" And they were like, "Yes." In general, that was
something that's not a man.
This is going to be your cheat sheet. We're going to tell you all of the many things that you are, and then you can choose what you'll live and bring forward. But we don't know who we are. We have not been cultivated that way. Our educational system is not designed for that. It's designed for obedience. And this is beyond that. This is beyond your obedience to a structure that you were born into and didn't get any say in. This is really to bring you back to the blueprint of who you actually are, and to see if you feel it when you hear, "Oh, you are a womb man." Does that feel like, "Oh, they called my name"? Oh, does it when it says, "You are light in action"? Does that feel like who you are?
Yes.
So if it resonates deeply with you, we may have hit gold here. We may have hit who you actually are, who you decide to step into, what you can actually present in this uh, experience of this life that you're living outside of all of the lies that have been given to us or insinuated upon us. So we begin like that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you? Not what they told you, but who are you really underneath all those layers? So for anyone who wants to join, the Soul Translation class can be found under the classes tab on the top of the website, Soul Translation. Click on it, it'll take you straight there. And also throughout the month, we have energetic protection and defense making its way back around. This is one of our base classes, very fundamental to again, who are you? That's actually one of the mantras for the class. You protect yourself by knowing who you are. Know who you are. So we get knocked upside the head, not knowing who and what we are, and that it is our thoughts that produce the experiences, and our field that pulls in what we are engaging with. So how can we offset this? How can we defend ourselves or protect ourselves against ourselves? And it's through, again, better understanding. And so the class, we are deconstructing, again, who and what you think you are, and that somebody outside of you is doing something to you, and it's you. And to deal with you so you can change what's out there. And even raise yourself above the turbulence. When you recognize this, it keeps the distance between the interference outside or the resonance, because you're working on you. Keeping your thoughts, you're in check through staying empowered and not being a victim. So this is on Thursday next week, running for 3 Thursdays, and there's no prerequisites. You can just jump on in and get your defense equipment. Also, we have Diane Nilika Studio One hosting her weekly meditations every Wednesday at 12 noon. She just had one yesterday, and we are in the third eye chakra, and she was working with the labyrinth. The labyrinth has a direct correlation with the brain. It literally looks like a brain. And this idea of hemispheric synchronization, we need to get both of these lobes as one. And That is one of our modus operandi here. Oneness, balance that masculine and feminine within you, balance that left and that right. Don't be working with one half of your brain out here. You see what this has produced. So check out the meditation. It's on the live stream. Excuse me.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got this upcoming Friday, Diane has a divination workshop. So working with the Call for the Truth divination cards, doing a group card pull. So this is something that's obviously regular with us. And again, this is an opportunity for community. You can jump in and see what the cards has in store for you. This is 7 p.m. Eastern. On Mondays at 6 p.m., you can find Lauren of the Sun doing flower communications and meditations. She just had a recent one this past Monday. And again, this is every single Monday. You can join her and for healing. And then we have, I forgot to mention, well, I kind of touched on it, but we're in light body. We are in the third eye chakra. And before we delved deep into the characteristics of the third eye, the sixth chakra, perception, indigo, all those basic general understandings, we went into this robust compilation of activating the light body, and still floating on it.
Yeah.
It's still pretty incredible to see what has been cultivated over time, from releasing congestion in your field. I'll put it like this: for people who want to be the light, you got to know how to pull in the light. If you want to shine, if you want to radiate, if you want to be the sun, you have to get this technology going. And so this compilation of the activations does just that, but it's so multifaceted through clearing congestion that's in the light body, filling up the light body with light by way of various frequencies that dispels interference and expands the light. And then we put some ultraviolet light in there to sanitize it right quick. It's a process. We're processing this technology, and then we weaponize, we stabilize the light. It's quite multifaceted, but it's something about doing the entire compilation that has people feeling supercharged.
Yeah, I'd like to share that not only the material and working with your technology is extraordinary, doing it in a group setting for $45 a month, 4 times a month, is spectacular. So you get in that group and everybody is focused, everybody wants light, everybody can see each other's light, everybody knows they can grow the light. You start activating, whoa, it's like, ooh,
Pulsing.
yeah, it's like
right.
that. And it felt like that when we last did it. And we are continuing this process through the third eye, then the crown chakra, and then we'll do another round. Each round brings us closer to undeniable luminosity, which is our birthright. So we're working our way back, and we're really excited. I also wanted to comment on Lauren's working with the flower realm, which I am very grateful for. I had a flower realm communication and healing last night with Lauren. It is off the chain. I recommend that people go to the website. Is it on the website?
I don't think that service is up there yet. She has been exclusively VIPing the service out to people.
This is coming soon, and it is extraordinary. I was able to speak with Crab Apple Blossom, which is an exquisite 5-petal flower from the flower realm. And I give Ilikesh Veritas to the flower realm for all of the love and support and power that they are giving. And there is a full communication. Previously, I had another communication from another flower, which was the Star of Bethlehem, also extraordinary. We don't know about the flowers.
Would you speak a little bit about, this is what's in my mind right now. In one of the One Mind classes, you guided the students with interfacing with flowers, trees, or almost any form of consciousness that they can connect with that was in proximity, and ask for a healing. Would you speak about the availability of that and people
You're already in my class.
and...
My class starts on Tuesday. Yes.
But hold on. Yes, but
Yes, I will
all
talk
right,
on it.
just a little sample, a little sample.
The reality is that everything in your experience from creation and that which is man-made, everything has levels of consciousness, even if it's the consciousness of the person who made the thing. So the person who made your dress or made your suit or made the table, their consciousness is in it. And then the things that come from source, from all that is, that are part of the creation, like grass and insects and trees and flowers, all have contributions on this planet with all of the other living things. And we happen to be one of the living things on the planet. And the flower realm is here to heal us. And the shallow understanding we have is take it to people in the hospital, give it on Valentine's Day, the love that the flowers have. And there is such elevation in beauty. Just that's why even evil people who live want beautiful things around them, because the frequency is higher. So the flowers are exquisite and beautiful, and they bring to us a higher frequency, which offsets whatever detriment is in our field and opens the opportunity for healing or light and life. And they came to this planet for that purpose. So in our world, we think, oh, it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to give you flowers. That's fabulous. It's a good understanding. We think, oh, you're in the hospital, I'm going to take flowers so you'll get better. Or I'm taking flowers to a funeral so I can heal the grieving. These are shallow understandings of what the flowers do. Just their beauty and presence relieves some of the lower levels of depression, sadness, darkness, anti-life. So once you start to speak to them, if you are in a flower garden, mosey on up to the bushes and ask them, give them in Lakesh and Veritas. Tell them, I heard this from the sun and I'm just testing it out. And I'd like to experience this. And it is a very visceral experience, not unlike what happens with trees. So is that enough?
Yeah, I mean, I only asked for a sampler. I'm not looking to give away the class here. So again, join Lauren on Mondays if you're interested in the flowers and the healing. Test out what Lao is talking about. These things are, we gain truth through direct experience. It sound and feel good. I know you can feel the truth, but like, try it out. I was in Pike's Nursery. It's a franchise, and you've probably seen Pike's around. And this also happened in a little farmer's market that happened to be, they sold flowers as well, floral arrangements. And I'm telling you, when you're around the flowers, you can feel the aliveness. You can feel the life. I'm like, yo, what's up, everybody? Whoa, this is a lot. There's a lot going on. I just, okay, let me just settle into it.
Well, let me tell you what happened next. I'm like, Tavares,
yo,
take us home.
see, if you stay open, you can hear them. And I was looking for some baskets to hang out in front of the house. And as soon as I walked in, I'm just like, I hear something say, go left. Something is my guidance. Go left. And then I see these baskets like tucked off. It was an area, I'm not even supposed to be back here. It was an area. And I saw them. I said, oh. And I see them waving. I'm like, oh, yeah, yes, let's go. Let's do it. So I'm walking around with my baskets. But my point is that you can feel their consciousness. Yes. And it takes it to a whole nother level when you actually engage them, when you send them in Lakesh, when you ask for a healing. And when I was there that day, I was like, I see why Lauren is so giddy the way she is about the flowers, because it's a real thing. Yes. They really do induce that type of emotion, so to say.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
It's to bring you to the highest frequency. This is little understood in our realm. This is an extraordinary thing. The things that we bring to you above the sun are things that existed always, mostly ancient understandings, but never fully explored. And it is not that we are saying we're fully exploring it, but we're taking it further.
Yeah, it's more, like you say, it's more than just cutting a bouquet in hand, and it's engaging with the consciousness. And when you acknowledge something, It opens up more. I know when somebody say, "Oh, you so cute," you're like, "Ooh, yes, I am." You know, you open up. It's the same thing for other forms of consciousness.
It's very true. When you admire a flower, it shines
Yeah.
for you.
What it do? Smell petals.
Yes. And
right.
I am now doing them. I'm working with the flowers every morning and every night, especially the two who have come to me through Lauren's communications. And it is as if their vitality is infused within me at the time that I'm in communion with them. Get you some of this. It's fantastic. You don't even have to buy them.
Right.
They don't have to. They can
Go
be
walk
cut
outside to
or
somebody's
they can be
bush.
planted. They can. They are in service to humanity, and they want to give you their energy and their power and their healing. So,
All right. Our flower commercial is over. This message was brought to you by and sponsored by the Floral Kingdom. Thank you. This is a beautiful arrangement. Diane brought us this today, and you probably saw me just touching on it because it's my first time really being with it. You see, I haven't been able to change topics yet. All right. So we're here. We're talking about evolution, be the change.
yes.
And again, our card pool. Let me just read this card one more time. So to make sure those who are joining us, by the way, in Lakesh and Veritas, everyone, we see you in the chat. We see you all joining us. Great in Lakesh to Stephanie, in Lakesh Studio, Theodora, Leon, Stacy, Delilah, Serenia, Sherelle, I am Elijah Wood. Peace, abundance of the highest evolutionary light, wisdom, prosperity, gratitude for this beautiful shared space of y'all sunny souls. I like that right there. Sonia's here. In Lakesh Veritas, everyone, and those who are not commenting, but we see you, we feel you. Evolution. This is 8th chakra, so go up higher dimensionally. The problem is us and the solution is us. Be brave to change yourself. One of the first indicators that I'm looking at is the flip side of this, that change requires bravery. So apparently there's some fear and apprehension to changing,
Yes.
or the sense of evolution in and of itself. What's going on with that?
Yeah, humans, we like to do whatever we have done. We don't know what we want. We just want what we know. I want, you ever cook something really good and then cook it for a person another time and they're like, no, you didn't change one of the ingredients. I want it exactly the way I wanted it. I have been that person that goes into a restaurant. I find one thing I like. I'll go to the restaurant for 3 years. I order that one thing because I can't get beyond it. We need to stop that. We need to stop behaving like that. like, I don't want to taste something that I don't already know is spectacular and I love it already.
I have to do something different.
Yeah, so the fear of the unknown, and that's a really good example in a very small way, that we just want what we already know. We want to live in the house we already know about. We want to go to the school we already know about. We want to ride in the car we already know about. We want to have the same experience repeated without actually knowing if it's the heightened experience and exalted experience for us. But if it got in pocket, like, I like it, we'll take the low level like above the unknown I don't know.
It's funny because that I don't know is like, it's the fear of like, what if it's not good? What if it's a bad experience? What if then I wasted my money and I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'll just play it safe.
I know people who won't eat soup because they think they'll be too full and miss a meal. Because they're like, if I eat this soup, I might miss. I'll be too full. I won't be able to eat the other part. But that's not the most. That's not the way to be an explorer of the universe.
Right.
So
this is a funny example, but I know people are relating to this, whether it's the self or the self outside of self.
Yes, it often happens if you're a mother and you're cooking, and I have had situations where my children have called me, maybe a year or two after I've made something for them and say, "Mom, do you remember that sandwich you made me when I went on that trip?" I'm like, "No, I do not." They're like, can I have that? I'm like, no, that time has passed. Those ingredients are gone.
They don't make bread like they used to.
But our memory of the satisfaction of a wonderful experience is to be applauded, but we should be a little bit adventurous so that we can stretch ourselves beyond what is we're most comfortable with. In fact, if we're just slightly annoyed, what an opportunity that is. What an opportunity to push ourselves into pleasure.
Oh, that's always for me. I'm like, ooh, I'm annoyed. Ooh, we about to evolve. Ooh, I got some jet fuel. Hold on, let me package that up.
And you can turn that
Launch.
little bit of irritation, a little bit of annoyance into like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to try something, do something, be greater, be more, evolve. Because there is that sense of irritation when things are not what you're expecting or the normal, but it is an opportunity.
What is there to say about the concept of comfort? And I don't remember the entire quote, but I've mentioned it before, where they say, "Good times make weak men, weak men make hard times," or something about like comfort is in there somewhere. But my point is the idea of being too comfortable, and the press of life that inspires change, and how it's often a necessity. But I also think that I don't want to get this confused with the press being suffering. I think that suffering is where we're ignoring the press or the initial inertia that's inspiring shift gears. What's up with that in comfort?
This is brilliant that you brought this forward. It is law that we have to be, our bodies, our physicality, our technology has to be under a little bit of stress to keep it in good shape. We have to be able to walk, stretch, move, do things. We need a little bit of cold and a little bit of hot.
Stretch out of your comfort zone.
Yes, we need to be a little, we can't be the princess on the mattress with the pea. You know, we really need, the law is for the body to function best, especially as a person is growing. People actually do have growing pain because it is the stretch into the greater experience. The same thing happens in maturity. You need to do physical things to stress the body so that the body can respond like, oh, you need more? Otherwise, it doesn't get the memo. It's like, oh, we could just dissolve into comfortness and nothing will work.
Yeah, the body just adapts to
you lay in bed for 6 months, you won't know how to walk. There must be, the law is, there has to be a little bit of stress to grow and maintain and stay alive. It's so the idea of convenience and comfort is a lie. It is not that we won't have eventually technology that assists us, but it doesn't mean that then we're in that beginning stage of it where we haven't figured out that we still have to move. We haven't figured out that we can't just eat hamburgers and fries and be all right, and milkshakes and get them through the window and, not have to walk out of the car and, not have to do any of those things. We're in that evolutionary period where not everyone is clear that a little bit of stress is in our best interest. A little bit of cold instead of always being warm, a little bit of warm instead of being cold. All of these things are things that activate aspects of our technology and are in harmony with the laws and principles of the universe.
So how does one begin to deconstruct or dismantle what I'm seeing as programming to desire comfort, or more so, I think synonymously, convenience in the face of the natural laws and mechanics of our reality, i.e., the drive-through window, or not wanting to, like, or for example, seeing what I see out there with foods, condiments. We make our own condiments. I will make a sauce from scratch with good ingredients. Shout out to the pesto. And I know what they're doing in there, but I want the convenience. So I'll choose the comfort of, I guess it's not that bad. Like what do we do to start deprogramming? Because again, it's the program. It's nah, I don't want the growth of let me sit and learn and carve out a little time for the thing that I really want with clean ingredients. This is just one facet. This can be looked at in many different ways, but I can see where something's going on where we want the convenience, even to our detriment.
It's not the convenience itself that is the detrimental thing. It is that we have not combined, as the card pull, the evolution of loving self enough to include in our convenience a way for us to be where we don't have to now eat that, now go buy Korean face products, where the food itself gives us the ingredients to be beautiful.
That's a flip on it, because doing the well, you had something else?
No,
You just because
I just stopped because you were talking.
Yeah, well, the idea of doing the thing that requires the responsibility, it creates this convenience. It's like, oh, it's convenient that I have my own and I don't have to suffer from eating whatever else out there.
You actually live that lifestyle. It is convenient for you to buy a case of pink grapefruit juice and press it. I'll say, oh, is there anything that you can say? I'll press you a grapefruit juice. It's convenient for you. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not suffering for you. That's point of view. That's understanding that this is good for me to be the one who does it, and good for the person who I'm doing it to, and good for me also. So it's good for all concerned, and the grapefruit gets to be used for what it was designed to do. So everything is supported, and there's no, well, somebody else should do it. Somebody else should squeeze my lemons and put it in a bottle and put in preservatives and all the things, and then I don't really have a lemon. I have something else.
So this is exactly what I was talking about. You said point of view, like changing our point of view to what you were speaking about, the natural press that inspires, let me go this way, because the press is redirecting my attention and my energy, my life force.
I think part of it is too, is the end result is, what are you looking to accomplish? Mostly, I think people are looking to accomplish, let me eat.
Yeah. First chakra. That's all I care about.
Yeah. And I have not prepared. I've not thought about it. I'm not concerned. I haven't done any research. I don't know what this is, but it has a drive-up window. So this, and it looks like it will be relatively inexpensive. So those are the criteria, but those are not the right criteria. The criteria should be that I love who I am and what I am, and I'm in such appreciation of being alive on this earth right now that I will choose to keep my technology at the highest level of function by what I choose to eat and do. And because of that, I have packed my lunch. Thank you very much. And so, because I have packed my lunch, I will have, and I have done this too. I've gone on airplanes with smoked salmon salad and homemade pesto dressing. And people are really like, what are you eating over there? I'm like, I just bought my lunch, you know. And they're like, oh. And I realized I could open the restaurant right there in the airport. But the idea is that I care enough about who I am to have thought about. It's like this. I've known since I was probably 1 or 2, I was going to need to eat every day. So I had the responsibility from the time I was responsible to prepare my food. So I have no excuse. I knew 3 days ago I was probably going to want to eat in 3 days. And even if I was fasting, I still knew that eventually I might eat. So I should prepare and study and know what the technology needs. So we don't really have any excuse when people say, well, I didn't have time. I'm like, but you've known probably since you were a child that you were going to want to eat, right? So it's your evolution that when there are holodecks and when there are food machines, may they be made from things that will give us nutrition. So it's not, I'm not railing against convenience. I'm railing against how we experience convenience.
Yeah, I think that's a very key point. I have one more question with this, and then I'd like us to look at this through another facet, more dealing with relationships. But you hinted towards the idea of responsibility. Why does evolution require responsibility?
You know, it's so funny. The idea of being able to respond with the ability that you have is also law. That nobody else, after you're no longer a child or you're not in someone else's care at the end of life or at the beginning of life, you should be brought to the point where you can respond with your own ability to your own needs. So the responsibility is the natural growth that we are to grow into, where we become self-sufficient and then can then produce that sufficiency for another,
All right.
which would be our children.
So this is a beautiful segue into the next question with relationships, which is looking at this from having a problem with someone else, right? Because again, the maxim says the problem is us. So clearly, this is through the lens of they made me fill in the blank of negative emotion and whatever it is that you feel, and it's us, right? And then the solution is us. And I can see where this is so multifaceted.
Yeah.
We are humanity in and of itself. It's so funny to me because I like watching the different demographics of humanity and how they observe the deconstruction, whether it's like, and I'm by no means into politics. I do monitor it, but I don't subscribe to any parties because it's a joke. Anywho, and a psyop and anti-life. And I can go on and on. However, I like seeing, because people are waking up even within these systems, but there's still this blame that happens. We wouldn't have done this if y'all would have voted for it, or look at what Bill Gates is doing and what this person is doing or what this country is doing and or what this demographic of people is doing, and then we can scale it down to just relationships. Oh, look what they did this to me, and again, it's this outsourcing the problem and the solution to out there, to the hologram, to the reflection. What are your thoughts on this, Lalta?
It's
dynamic?
interesting because, of course, I've lived that experience where I thought someone owed me something. I have grown beyond that understanding now. I don't think anyone owes me something except me. I owe myself the experience I want to have. So I've had many experiences that were not satisfactory. And I think all of us do. And I think it's a learning process and to be expected. What I choose to happen now is that I may be disappointed in an outcome once. But once I recognize the characteristics and I can note them, like, oh, if that had this and that, when I see that coming, like, oh, you fit that description. Oh, well, no, thank you. Whatever it is, whether it's the school system, whether it's the restaurant, whether it's the grocery store, whether it's a lover, whether it's a friend, whether it's children, it's like once, there is an expectation of learning that if you see that it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
A damn duck. The car fell.
So it's not that it's not that things don't happen to all of us. They do, but we may want to affirm our love for self. That if it's unpleasant, it only happens once. I was telling you recently, something happened. Oh, it was actually Diane. She threw away a dress. And I said, oh, I have done that. I have had a day. I had a day one time where it was not a day to my liking. When I got home, I unbuttoned the dress, stepped out of it, and put it in the trash. I was like, we will not be doing that again. And I'm not saying you should throw away your clothes, but you should do something to affirm that you're not going to do that again. If you're really serious, like, oh no, we're not doing that again. So that's the level of turn up that you have to be willing to have. Like, it can't be like, oh yeah, I like it, I paid a lot for it. It's like, oh, no. Like, that and everything it represents needs to go away from me. So whether that means you wash it, you dry clean it, you give it to somebody, which I wouldn't, but you do something with it. The idea is that you decide at such deep level that you're willing to do something extraordinary. It requires the decision to not accept that which is uncomfortable, unpleasant, or does not harmonize with you. And that's not to say that that same person or thing might not harmonize with someone else. I'm like, go over there. They like you, you know, go on over there. That's just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're still looking at the realm of relationships.
Yeah.
There's so many things that come to mind with that, but I'm moving through the podcast in such a way where like inspired questions and things that are just very general and trying not to be so enamored. You know how we were stuck on the flowers like 15, 20 minutes. Like, damn, what are these flowers? Looking to continue to flow. And so with that being said, let's look at this from the aspect of many people are evolving and experiencing change and evolution, and it creates rifts within their relationships.
Yes.
You know, many people have noticed that making changes, it has required distance from others. It has, and not just people. When we say relationships, because we're looking at this through all levels of relationships, maybe you stop associating with certain institutions and belief systems and groups of thought because of the changes that you've made, and like what comes with that. There's a lot of weird dynamics in the relationship. Sometimes I see where people have, and I think there's varying levels and degrees. Sometimes I can see where people feel like, oh, I'm afraid that if I do change, how this will influence the relationship, which might require the other person to grow too. I don't know. Maybe I'll just settle into comfort.
Is it comfortable? Is it comfortable?
Is this rhetorical? Remember to move more towards the sun, move more towards the light. Like, you ain't trying to grow? Damn. That means I got to grow because of what you showing me. I'm annoyed.
This idea that if you find yourself in the frequency pattern, in the morphic field of others, those who are listening today, who have chosen to listen to us, this is not an accident, or maybe you accidentally are listening to us.
23 people resonating.
This is the morphic field that you have chosen. And so you have to look around and say, ooh, does this feel elevating? Does this feel rich? Does this feel enlightening? Or does this make me feel like they don't like me, or that there's something negative, or they're scolding me, or, you know, does it feel like something you want to move away from? So we have to identify that if we find ourselves in a situation, we have probably chosen it because there was some resonating energy around it.
Yes.
So it's not like someone just came in to do something terrible to you. You chose it.
Yeah, you seeing you through you.
And it's the same way if you continue to interact with all of the institutions, stores, and people, and things, and politics. You continue to be in that field, you already know what it is, then you're signing up for whatever happens. You're like, I just need to see what the terrible thing is. Some of us don't need to see it. Some of us believe it.
Look, we know they're trying to kill us. What do we do? That's where I'm at. Like, how many of those movies do we got to watch? Oh, they're putting clues in the films, guys. How many movies we got to watch till it clicks? Excuse me, continue.
No, and what you say is very true, is that not everybody is there.
It's like, I need one more movie to be convinced. I need Hollywood to show me.
One more burger, or one more hospital visit, or like, one more.
Yeah, damn, this don't taste like, it's tasting more different every time I go.
One more like printed piece of chicken, you know. So if you're not there yet, and nobody is mad at you, like, take your time, reach the point of decision in your own space. I, however, will be up the road. I have already decided that I will not I won't eat the processed food. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to eat out of the fast food restaurants. I haven't done it. I'm not going to do it. And I have alternatives to it because I am supported. The universe supports me. I'm living in the laws and principles. So I don't have to. I choose not to do that. We have allowed and permitted whatever is happening to humanity. Humanity as a whole has allowed and permitted it. Whatever is happening to you with your boyfriend, you have allowed and permitted it. Whatever's happening with you and if you're an adult and you have relationships with your grown siblings and your parents that are uncomfortable, that's you all day long, because you don't have to. You don't have to be in the position of acquiescing to things that don't make you feel good or make you suffer. That's a choice.
Would you speak more about the bravery it takes to make that change? Because again, those examples, people feel the press
They
of
do.
if I become different, if I become different than how the party is accustomed to me behaving, that I know my difference is going to cause rifts in the ocean. What will happen?
Well,
What
I'll
do I
tell you
do?
what happened to me. And I can tell you what happens to many people who are my clients is that it does require extraordinary courage to turn your face away from the unknown, but suspect it. You suspect they're going to be out of order with you. And that is the unknown, but it's probably true. And that probably is what will
Yes,
happen.
known unknowns. That she just defined a known unknown.
So once you say, you know what, I'm going to use my own brain and how I feel to decide what it is that I am willing to do and unwilling to do. And you do it in a variety of different ways about a million different things all the time anyway. But as it relates to family and friends and lovers and boyfriends and all of that, if you choose to stand in your truth of what you understand to be truth, it is likely some level of hell will break out. Maybe not big hell, maybe little hell, maybe little tiny fires, maybe big fires. And when you withstand the flames and you take in the thought forms that people hurl at you, which they may never say, but that you can feel, you have reached a level of courage that gives you, as a response, the freedom to then be who you are. And almost in every situation, we find this here at Of the Sun too, people who were disgruntled and unhappy and didn't like this and didn't like that and took exception with this thing come back sometimes years later, as if nothing, as if they never had a problem. Like, here I am, remember me? And it's okay. That happens with lovers, it happens with family, it happens with friends. If you hold the line, because most people don't hold the line, people will be in respect. You win. They'll be in respect of the fact that you decided to keep going, even though they thought negatively about you.
I'm having several different thoughts. The more recent one was the holding the line. How many times have we seen parents say, "Hey, don't touch that," or "I'm gonna spank you," or take something away, and like they touch it and nothing happens, and then something that little monster grows because the line was never held. And but I could see that same principle applied with all levels of relationships, and then the respect that is garnered, even they might not like you, but the respect is communicated.
And it's not 100%. 100% of the people are not you. 100% of the people were never gonna be you. But whatever percentage it is, you have won the badge of courage to let you be yourself. Now you are what would be considered a truthful being. You have kept truth to yourself. You spoke truth to yourself and held and kept your word. Your word is bond to you. That strengthens your whole field. You become greater. You become more. And some people will see it and some will never see it.
So I want to speak about the flip side of this, how making change within yourself influences the collective or your other self. Because we just talked about, look, you change from out of the status quo of what has been, the boat will be rocked. And this was the second thing I wanted to share. I saw a visual of just kind of, this is more of like a mechanistic view, but follow me with it. Like you're a gear with other gears in the machine, and you churn in the way you normally churn, and you decide, I don't want to be this type of gear no more. I'm going to change my whole the shape of my gear, how many spokes I have, and they're like, she changed. No, you're not supposed to do that. It's like, no, but like I need to be different because it's time for me to change. And like you don't fit the same, so things have to shift to accommodate it. That's what I saw in my mind. But then, okay, you want to respond to that before we get
That's
into
the
the
card you pulled.
yeah, and then
Evolution.
well,
I mean, I'm just
yeah,
responding to that a little bit, but
yeah.
please go on.
So evolution and the boat will be rocked. It's inevitable. There's ripples in the field. How we respond to it is all the difference. But then the flip side of that is your change can inspire change.
So there is where we should be thinking of ourselves as coherent beings who are connected to signal. The signal is from source, all that is. We're connected and we can hear the signal. And the signal says, don't be no clog in the wheel no more. Go the other way. And like nobody else hears it. You're like, y'all not, you all still.
They still churning like.
but you can hear signal, and the signal is saying, bring forth coherency. And in your coherency, because of the nature of uh, the field, the energetic field in which we gain all of our information, your determination and desire and ability to shift that shifts everything. It is as if it is actually true that as you shift and change, and we've all heard this, reality changes. And not only our reality here, we are not separate from the greater reality, multidimensional parallel realities in the greater galactic experience. Everyone is waiting for us to hear the signal.
I hear it. You had to let that breathe. Like, because you hear the signal in silence, right? You
got to get to silence, then you hear the signal.
Like, oh,
and then if the signal is going against the deteriorating culture and the despicable behavior and the unfortunate things that humans are doing, I'd follow the signal.
Hell, a little story. I shared this morning in our actualization, but one of my signals recently was pursue living more on liquid, sunshine, and earth. I went, and this is a two-part, and I'll keep it brief. 40 days in, I saw my family who, and from one facet, they love me. From another facet, they think I'm crazy as hell. Well, I don't know what to say about this sports of ours, but it inspired certain changes. My sister started making changes in her diet, etc., etc. My cousins, etc., all of them. But then going even further, I stopped at 60 because like it was like, all right, just chill. But I had a client who she is a doctor, and she was asking me about fasting, and I told her, and she's like, so what about your protein? And but the point about this was that the following the signal was because I needed to do this for me. It wasn't about like following a fad. It was more like my guidance said, you want to go higher? Do this. Do this. Listen to this. And like it went against what everything outside of me was saying. But the signal was like, do this. And on the flip side, I was the most productive I've ever been work wise. And then I also saw the inspiration of how it influenced family. But then this one with the doctor, and she's like, what do you do about your protein? And I know you were you working or on vacation with this? And I said, I'm working. But I'm getting sunshine, I'm getting earth, and I'm changing my perception of where I'm getting my nutrients from. This is an experiment for me in following my guidance. So I didn't need a protein. I'm gonna show you some videos of my muscles. So then fast forward, she sends me a tip via Venmo and on the knowledge that I shared with fasting. And this was somebody who, again, doctors have a very fixed way of viewing things. And again, for me, it was, I guess, like a cosign from the universe with this card, how, yes, you will make ripples, you will make waves in the field, but what's on the other side of that is influencing the minds of those who are open and receptive to the change. Because our change, or no longer being the cog, is not for everybody. I can firmly see that some people will still be the cogs.
Yeah, it's very interesting because of the sun, we often bring back the most ancient of healing methods. Fasting is the one of the best known, most ancient,
Analog.
healing. Uh, don't cost anything, low drag, natural ways to heal. However, there has to be consideration for what has happened to the human body. You have already considered that. You've spent years in preparation for what you are doing. The longevity of the medical associations, institutions have been around for about 150 years. That pales by comparison to the millennia of history of medical healings all over the world through fasting. So, fasting, you have all the evidence you would need, but you're speaking to someone who is limited to their medical education to gather what they think is true or not, because you have been exposed to greater truth, greater understandings, all of the many volumes and volumes of material that support fasting has been available to you for you to gain the clarity and the respect of such um, really powerful cleaning and healing that can only take place once you reach a certain level of clarity. Because you can fast and heal, or you can fast and starve. It has to do with your point of view. So if you don't know what to think, you can starve. But if you know what to think, you can heal and be glorious, glowing example of humanity. But there is this that doesn't usually come out of, with no education, out of the general population, having not studied, not having respect, having love of self, all of these things. You can't be hating yourself and not eating.
No, it was a love affair. It's like, how can I be greater? How can I be in more
Right.
one ment with the deeper truth? But to get to more of like the undertow of the story was like in this type of dynamic, I think that this often happens with people where you have an experience that's contrary to what they're experiencing. Are you going to be in fear of rocking the boat,
Yeah.
of what their thoughts would be? Lao Tzu has this thing where she said, I'm not afraid of your thought form. Like taking that disposition where like, because I know that I know, and which makes it less about them and more about like how you deal with you and your experience and whatever your truth is, or the signal that you're following, which can look like a lot of things.
Yeah.
To break the habits that the withholding secrets within your family. Maybe that's the thing, because family members do that. Or maybe it's like, I no longer want to drink brown party liquor with you guys on the weekend. I'm done. Whatever it might be, like it's still like, because whatever the truth is that has risen, we're still dealing with how we process and express truth, and how the field responds to it is still like this internal thing.
I think a lot of it has to do with being able to identify signal. Signal will always be that which supports life, always. So if you're not drinking brown party liquor, maybe you want to keep your brain cells. If you're not keeping secrets, maybe you don't want to be a liar. Maybe you don't want to be a coward. The signal is always about what supports life. So if you're hearing voices and they're not in support of
I
life,
was just about to say,
if you're the way you know is that it loves you and supports you. If the voice is telling you something that is disrespectful and out of order, that's not signal. That might be your own mind in contempt of self. Signal will always support. You want to show yourself love, you want to be cleaner, you want to be pure, you want to be a healer, you want to, then this is a way you can get there.
this is so good, because I was going to ask you, would you explain signal more? Do like, what do we mean, like the voice that you hear, the information that comes, and like identifying like what does the frequency feel like? You
And it's
mentioned it earlier.
it's not always a voice, it's a prompting. You
Yeah.
may be prompted to buy those flowers and take them home and stare at them. Like, What if you could heal me?
How does
You know, it may be promptings. It may not be that
yeah.
you hear a voice, but you may feel drawn to people, places, and things. That may be signal operating through you. Signal is from source through the crown chakra. So it is from source, and it may guide you into the best experiences. Those things that send you into dark alleys and uh, places that are negative is not signal.
Sketchy places got you looking over your shoulder, like am I supposed to be here? This don't feel right.
That's not signal.
All right. One last thing before we go to break, go to our commercial, and then come back and answer some of these comments. We see you all in the chat. Thanks for hanging with us. This is the 8th chakra. Would you speak
That's
about
signal.
all right? I guess that's it.
Well, between 12 and 8 is higher self. It's all that is. It's one mind.
Yeah.
It is interchangeable.
Yeah, I
you
feel
can
you.
be you are correct. If you say one mind, you're correct. If you say all that is, you're correct. If you say higher self, you're correct. It's interchangeably correct. You can be correct on all levels. It's the higher expression leading you to the highest experience that life has for life, in service to life. That's the criteria. Often people say to me, I don't know what's right or wrong. Does it serve life? Is it in service to you? That's it. That's the answer.
Some real ABC 1, 2, 3 right there. Don't be out here asking. I don't know. I don't know how it's.
I know. Shouldn't I get high today because I always got high every day, and because I have a headache? Shouldn't I be getting high? Like
my glaucoma.
yeah.
I don't know.
Like right now, the brain is measuring the same with marijuana that it's measuring with alcohol.
Look.
It is not true that they are equal. That it is not equal to devastation in the brain. It is not true.
And marijuana is not even marijuana. It's like the chicken. The chicken ain't chicken. Bread ain't bread.
It's
Marijuana
very
is
much.
not
It's very
marijuana.
much
It's
that
something
way.
else.
And the something else could be pushing you towards you. You might be the you that you get high off of.
I know that's.
And if you talk to Tavares too long, he'll have you breathing yourself into it.
What? About to pass out. Hold on to your chair, strap in. We about to take off.
We may have a breathing class coming up so that we can introduce you to some of the breathing methods that will take you where you want to go, and it will cost you won't need a handler in between you and them.
No, but you will need a strap so they buckled into your seat. So you know. All right, thank you, Lauta, on that last little bit about the 8th chakra and the continuity between the signal and getting the information. That's so succinct, and I think it brings clarity to people about even the nuance of the language, higher self, all that is, source, where we're getting it from. And it's as though getting higher dimensionally or in the energy centers, there is a dispelling of or a defragmentation that occurs. It's almost, even though there's differentiation, there's still this unified whole, so
yes,
to say.
Absolutely. And there are levels to this thing. It's true. You don't go from 0 to 90.
No. It's hard.
There are levels, and it's okay.
All right, you all. It's been real good. Stick with us. We're going to play this quick commercial from our sponsor, Luca, and we'll be right back. We see you in the chat, and we will answer some of those comments.
So, what does the future of money look like to you, Alex?
The future of money won't be about what we use. It'll be about who we trust. We're heading into a world where money is no longer paper. It's data. Central bank, digital currencies, programmable payments, and surveillance systems will redefine how value moves. But here's the twist. The more digital it gets, the more people will crave something real. That's why gold and silver aren't disappearing. They're becoming the anchor in a world of floating code. Money will evolve technologically, but it will always revolve around trust. And digital systems can't replicate 5,000 years of human belief in tangible value. The future of money? Digital convenience built on physical truth. The code will change, but the collateral won't. Because in every era, old or new, gold stays the final receipt.
That's right. Get you some. Visit Aluka Inc. for wealth management assets protection at alukainc.com. All right. So thank you all for sticking with us. Just want to take a moment to express the value and appreciation for supporting us and finding value in what we do. I had a discovery call with a new client, and it was so warm to hear her responses. And she's like, "Yeah, I listen to you all every day when I walk in the park." I was like, "Oh man, you taking us with your trail walks? I love it." And just continuing to hear what we speak about in terms of like light body and sovereignty, and really helping the person find solutions within themselves and wanting more. So again, it's valued. And then also seeing the resonance, because this was a soul who said to me, one of her reasons for booking the consult is she feels that the circumstance that she's in, it's requiring her to change and to be different. It's almost like she's getting the signal and it's pulling her away, but she's just been used to it, and the people she's with is used to her, and maybe we can help in that way. And I told her, sun calibration, learn how to get your answers,
Yes.
the internal signal. But again, I say that to say those who are tuned in are moving in a different direction.
Absolutely.
And this is where you can be supported within that.
I'd also like to mention before you begin that just because there's however many people who are on the line does not mean that that's the only number of people who are getting what we are saying. Those who are turned in to what we are saying all over the world have the availability through the 23 souls who are here to be informed of this frequency.
Yeah, that's
so
real.
It's a little beyond what you've been taught, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's actually within keeping of what some people theoretically understand, but sometimes it's the gap between seeing it and
Yes.
really experiencing that reality. It keeps it really mental and
Yes.
theoretical, but that's the truth of the morphic field. That's
It
the
is.
truth of critical mass. And we mentioned that today about how your internal changes can influence the world around
Absolutely.
you, and non-locally. You better get with it. People in China are affected by you. People in South Asia or India, wherever. This is a real reality that I think the sooner we get with that, like it's making me think about the 8 chakras, make me think about one mind, recognizing the source within us, where it don't matter what it'll look like. I know who I am and I know what's happening.
It doesn't matter what it looks like. What it looks like is what has not yet fully manifested. What is in your mind is what is real. It just hasn't landed yet in what it looks like.
Can you hold the signal?
Yes.
All right. This is a very stimulating conversation, you all. So we're going to go ahead and get to our comments here. Looks like quite a bit of comments, and more people have joined on. Welcome, Julianne, Youssef, Sonia. I know this is Mario. Sonia. She goes, it's me, Mario. And in my mind, I heard, it's a me, Mario. Like, I say Sonia's my government name. But in the streets, I go by Mario. Welcome, Mario. It's been a while. Shaka Warrior says, most people are not just attached to circumstances. They are attached to who they believe they are within those circumstances.
Yeah.
Change threatens that identity. And even if the current state is limiting, or hold on, the comments are flowing in, and the comment section is changing. Let me go back to this. I'm gonna start from the top. Most people are not just attached to the circumstances. They are attached to who they believe they are within those circumstances.
Right.
Change threatens that identity, even if the current state is limiting or uncomfortable. It feels familiar, and the mind equates familiarity with safety.
I am so happy that that was shared, because identity, the shift in identity, is tied directly to the shift in timelines, which is tied directly into greater expansion of self through the solar plex chakra. If those are in light body, the shift in identity is necessary unless you want to keep doing this. You want to do this for another 100 years? You got to shift your identity.
I would throw these down if they weren't so fragile. I care
Make
too
your
much.
point.
Back on. I don't want to be that. I want to change.
It's so key. What's being said is so key. Yes, it threatens that old stuff. Let it die.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, let it stop
It-
feeding it.
It needs to. I had this thought the other day. Let's say I was like,
Put
oh
that
my
old
gosh,
self on a fast.
things have to die. It's like it's part of the process, like the decomposition, and so new things can grow. And it came up from someone was speaking about. I think it was like politicians and different people who are there and who are running the country. I use that loosely because it's deeper than that, but somebody said they just got to die, or like this type of the type of thinking has to die out with them. And then I learned something through I think it was scientists who were on the cutting edge, Max Planck, who quantum physicist, he's the godfather of quantum physicists, quantum theory. And in the time that he was doing his thing, all the other scientists was like, nah, it can't be this, that we live in a quantum reality and
Right.
nothing's solid and all this, because it was so contrary. And he said something similar where it was like, I'm paraphrasing the beautiful phrase, but something about this isn't for them. This is for the new generation that will come up to accept this thought, and that they just have to die out, more or less. And so I could see, and then I took that and I started looking at nature, and I'm like, nature's just like that. There's a shedding that takes place for the new growth to
And
happen.
there's evolution in
And
there's also,
process.
it's not just growing back the same. It's never exactly the
Yeah.
same. It's close. But the psychosis among humanity, we need to stop feeding it.
Yeah.
I'm using that language because I prefer the language of everything eats. If you don't feed it,
It's excellent.
Yeah.
Because it walks across the board. Joy eats joy.
yes.
Like to stay in your happy place, you gotta keep feeding yourself happy thoughts, happy actions.
If you want to be the truth, you have to feed yourself the truth. You can't feed yourself the old lies thinking you're gonna be the new truth.
Yeah.
That don't work.
Exactly. That math ain't mathing, huh? Math ain't mathing. All right, we're gonna keep going back to these comments. Thank you, Shaka Warrior. Shaka. So Serenia says, babies pre-birth do better with some levels of stress.
Yes.
It seems to help to challenge their systems to be better developed, especially brain nervous system.
Absolutely.
You know, I was thinking about microgreens and how when they're not under the stress of the
Yes.
wind, they're limp and
Everything, it is
Oh,
law. When I said it earlier,
Yeah.
it's true. It is law that for us to gain the necessary balance and strength, there has to be an indicator to the forces of nature that we need to push against it so that we can then grow as a result. It's brilliant. It's exquisite, the law.
it's fascinating to see. Like the moment we come in, it's
I
there.
saw a woman once. I went to a lecture once of a woman who rode a bike all the way around the world.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And she had gained, just on the eating whatever fruit and things she could find at stands in China and India and all that, she gained 35 pounds because the stress of riding the bike gave her what she needed to ride the bike. And then when she came back, she went back to normal. But it wasn't about the food. It was about her indicating to her body what was needed. And the body is malleable, just like our reality. All of this is flexible. Everything that the air we're breathing, the experience we're having, is all flexible if we flex it, push against it a little.
Do y'all remember the cartoon show Gumby? Sometimes in conversations, Walter is like, this is all Gumby. This is just Gumby, you know. Like, what's that green little guy? Gumby. Oh, the little clay. And, you know, it really is. The more specifically, this idea of going into one mind and seeing like the interfacing with reality and learning more about biology and adaptation. I'm like, damn, like, it really is malleable. But
not only malleable, but if from our perspective, from our limited 4% perspective, what's going on, everything looks different.
4%, big, bold, underline.
Like, the table doesn't look like the refrigerator, the light doesn't look like the floor, but the truth of the matter is everything is made out of the same substance.
Yeah.
Of the plasma or the substance that we're using. And to the divine, to those who have reached higher levels, it's just like Play-Doh. like making the buildings out of Play-Doh, make the people out of Play-Doh, make the plants out of Play-Doh. It's all the same thing that we have assigned identification to, and but it actually exists as the same thing, and only in our closed reality and in our system do we identify it as what we've all agreed. Like, that's a refrigerator, Tavares. Don't be thinking that's Play-Doh.
All right, so I got a deep question. How, and this is really heady, because I think about these types of things often. How does one live in a reality of undifferentiated wholeness, yet still identify separateness?
You are not undifferentiated. You are fractalized as yourself, but the rest of the environment and everything else through which your psyche is seeing things is all one thing that's an agreed understanding. It's agreed. It's like your grandfather agreed that that would be a table, and then your grandmother, and then your mother, and it's been agreed through the epigenetics. It's not agreed and then you agree by the force of the DNA. It's not just that you're born and you're like, okay, yes, you learned that the name of that thing is a door, but you have in your epigenetics that these things are doors. It's there. It exists in the living DNA.
So the refrigerator is not an icy closet, it's a refrigerator.
Well, it's an agreed understanding. And you can, what the point is that you can bring yourself out of it, like some of us do, where it's all frequency.
And that's what I'm talking about right there. We're like, it's like but to at the same time see the differentiation. That's the wild part. We're
so
like,
that does exist.
It's all connected.
But it's still.
But you like, damn, this is. It's connected but separate but connected.
Yeah, but and you probably have moments, especially at night, where you may open your eyes and look at the ceiling and see that it's all frequency. That's how I first saw it. I could see, oh, that's not solid, that ceiling. Ooh. If I wanted to, I could see the stars through it. Ooh, but I'm afraid. Like, that's how it starts. So it is possible for both things to be simultaneously true.
That's that left and right brain right there.
Yeah.
You got to have both parts of your brain to get that experience. You can't be working just solely off your left.
So that's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We have to love the aspect of ourselves that is not the most dominant one. Like, I am feminine, but I am also masculine because I'm one of two polarities. So when a woman doesn't recognize that she has the aspect of the masculine, she's then at war with it. When a man doesn't recognize he is the feminine that he's trying to diminish, that he loses his compass. He doesn't know who he is or where he's going. So we have to have the integration of the truth of creator, which is divine masculine and feminine. And then we can have the balance, and then the ceiling might look different.
That's right. That brain hole. Thank you, Serena. We have Leoneri. This understanding of POV reminds me of how, as a child, I didn't respect things my mom bought because I didn't spend the money for it. Preach, girl. She done learned how to put some respect on it. But as an adult, I became aware of how disrespectful I had been because I respect and take care of the things I had to pay for. So responsibility, the perspective changes when you're presented with the responsibility of doing for self, and you have more value.
And there are cultures that are able to teach their children, but we're not one of them.
Well, it's interesting.
There are cultures that teach value. There are, but they spend a great deal of time doing that. They're not in a hurry.
So you really hitting on the head. I was thinking when you said our culture, our society does not support it at all. No. The first thing that popped in my mind was fast fashion. And then you said not in a hurry. So like there's no value for the clothing, the material,
right,
the longevity of things. We just get it. It lasts for maybe a few months. Like sometimes people got something that lasts just a weekend and they throw it out and get a new garment. And so again, something has to change. But I think that change is happening now, because, and if not, like, I think again the field and the environment will kind of press us into having more value for the things that we have.
What she says is so correct because it applies to our food, our clothing, our partners. Do we respect something we picked up in the bar and brought home with us?
Why are we going in the bar?
Or-
Hey, teach his own. Let me not be
My
telling
point
people
is
what to do.
that if it's fast, if it's convenient, if you can do it like that, how much gravity does it have for you?
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know,
It's funny, the cliches. I won't go into it, but this is stimulating, to say the least. Gina says, I was unconsciously taught to use food as a vice when stressed instead of eat for nutrition for my body. Learning otherwise, my body has naturally started gravitating towards what's truly good for me.
yes, absolutely. So many parents give their children something to eat to keep them quiet. Mommy, 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 here, eat this.
Yeah, shut up.
Or get your tablet or go sit in front of the TV. That's not
Distract yourself with this.
This is and it's generation after generation because none of us have been taught otherwise, where our first thought is, you come sit next to me, tell me what's on your mind, talk to me until you're tired of talking.
Process the emotion instead of eating emotionally.
Yes. So of course we are the product of that, which should make us the masters of it. What a wonderful opportunity that this has happened to us. We could flip this script.
Ooh, the
because
problem
we
is
will
us, the solution is
understand
us.
yes, we will understand what happens when the parent doesn't take the time, when they just give the child food. Like, what a blessing for us. It's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity.
Eat these dino nuggets and shut up. Eat this mystery Capri Sun. Walter, I had a thought about Capri Suns. We used to drink these mystery containers, these packages, these little pouches. We didn't know what was in there.
Yeah.
There's some wild stuff floating in it that they've
there.
been discovering from somebody finally decided to cut it open.
It's whatever is happening with processed food, you should back away from the processed
Step
food.
away from the processed food.
Yeah. The stories are more horrible and more horrible every day.
All right, so we got more from Shaka. She says, so eloquently stated, Lalta, when you move through evolution, you're being guided back to your truest essence.
That's
more
so
aware,
beautiful. Yes.
more aligned, and more connected to your inner truth. Change then is not a threat, but a sacred transition that reveals the depth of who you are becoming. Ooh, flip on that frequency.
Yeah, and you can see the divine design in everything. Like, oh, I have been pushed out of my comfort. I have been pushed out of the convenience of the time I grew up in, so that I could see through my own what has the detrimental things that have happened to me, what I need to change.
Yeah, that's deep.
It's
and
truth.
Empowering.
Yes, it's very empowering. We don't need to get mad. We need to decide to do something different. Yes.
Jet fuel. Serenia's comment was so real, she had to put it in the comments twice. She was like, those babies require a little bit of stress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only the babies, but the baby's mother when she's pregnant. If she don't get up and move around and get some stress going, it's not going to go well. It's going to go slow, and it's not going to be fun.
Cosigns on the mama, so the pregnant mama's still in the gym.
That's right.
Getting her walks in.
That's right, because the body, the baby, everything. This is law. There is no exemption.
Yeah. Stacy OTS says, come out as the phoenix after encountering the hells through courage. That's the best phoenix sound that I have for you at this time.
I don't think that's a phoenix.
No, it's not. It's a bird, though. I think a phoenix is more saying, all right. You like this? Hey,
I encourage you.
I'm trying to meet and match the frequency.
I encourage you.
I'm gonna find my inner phoenix and get back to you all. We just gonna deal with the crow sound for now. Let's keep it moving. Be the phoenix, you all. Speaking of animals, Gina says I'm a Scorpio. And ever since I was little, I have felt the phoenix wanting to break out. And every other time I've tried to break free, my friends and family pulled me back to my old self. I got to comment on that. And,
Good.
because
if you don't, I
that's
will.
that's who they knew and needed me to be. But I see it differently now, and I am grateful for my enlightenment. I am the one to change and break the cycles.
Yes.
That's right. You Neo or Nia. That's
Yeah.
right. You the one. So hearing that, well, so bravo for seeing,
Yes.
flipping, because it is such a thing where it's like, damn, y'all don't want me to grow, and it feels like, chains and shackles. It's like, no, that's you. That's you. The problem is us, and the solution is us. Be brave to change yourself. In the energetic protection and defense class, we preface the class by saying you protect yourself by knowing who you are. Know who you are, and that feeling of I'm a victim to them is because it's not so much that they're pulling. It's there are levels of consent. I know that there's a pull. I think we all know that there's a pull, but I think what I have noticed in this line of work that we don't often acknowledge how consenting we are to the pull, how much allowing we are for this person's thought form of the family who don't want you to grow and they want you to stay the same and not insert phoenix sound. I just
Good. I have something to say, but I want to make sure you're finished.
I concluded with the silent phoenix sound.
So if you all would think about the image of a man trying to leave a woman and she's laying on the floor and he's trying to get to the door and he has had enough and she hasn't had enough and she's dependent and she's wounded. This is what our families are like.
You know, little babies do that too.
Yes.
When daddy's leaving.
Yeah, because they have seen or understood something, or they're being informed through their epigenetics.
That's interesting.
So when that happens, and it's happened to all of us, like there's crying, there's consternation, there's no, don't do it, don't leave me behind, I want to be with you, but I'm unwilling to change. That's the part you should hear. But I'm unwilling to eat right, do right, be right. But don't leave me to myself and all my habits that I'm choosing above all of the things that are right for me and for you. So if once you're on the other side of it, you can see clearly that now they're being informed through the clarity of your truth, and they still love you, but you have created a new paradigm where there is some level of respect for who you are, and then just because it's like the child crying or having a tantrum. Often our family has a tantrum when we decide not to be the same. They actually kind of have a tantrum and they act up and they call names and they do a lot of things thinking that if they hurl enough energy at you that you'll change. And often we do. Often we're like, okay.
Yeah, and just drop the pursuit of growth and just, all right.
But if you are hearing the signal, which she heard, she heard the signal.
She was like, but they're calling me.
So when the family was on vacation, she got away. So once you do that, you see that you were born to help the family, that there is only one way to help them, and that is by not listening to the tantrum. That's a flip on the reality, but that's the truth. And I would say that I'm sure she agrees.
I'm sure. It might take a few seconds for her to comment, but all right. So we've been going on a little longer with these videos. We reached the hour and a half mark, and most of the commentary, it looks like feedback between the chat itself. However, Lauta, with this this card pull here, evolution, you have any final thoughts for the listeners about being brave to change ourselves? How we are the problem. It's classic Ho'oponopono. The problem you have with someone else is really the problem you have with yourself. and the necessity to, the bravery, the responsibility involved to change. Any final words?
Yes, I'll give a quote from my own book, Call for Truth. You can, uh, a hero only dies once, a coward dies 1,000 times. You can let yourself be insulted by the behavior and the antics of others because they want you to be there for them. Or you can be the hero in your life and then in theirs too. So that's the truth of it. Be the hero. Be the one who brings your family to a higher standard by being the first one to go there. Almost everyone of the sun was born to help their families through example, not through compliance. So, you good?
Yeah, I had to hear that one with the eyes closed. I'm taking it in. I trust you all were taking it in. Don't just let these words of wisdom fall onto the desktop, onto the keyboard. Take that in, do something with it, package it, sell it, use it, drink it, eat it.
Share it with everybody else. It's all good.
Yeah, use it as a fertilizer to grow.
Yeah.
I think ultimately. So just some final thoughts and remarks. Thanks again, everybody, for chiming in a conversation called Through the Truth today. And just some gentle reminders. We are in the Light Body Movement, Third Eye. So next month we'll be in the Crown. And the following month, in what is that? July, we will be moving.
June.
So June will be Crown. And then the following month, July, yes, July. That's what I was heading to. July, we will be starting from the beginning with the light body. So for those who may want to start this process from the jump, beginning in the root chakra, third phase, join us in July. And if you're like, can I join now? Yes, you can. You can come party with us in the third eye. We're in the penthouse suite, and we're dealing with perception and changing the perception of our reality, and by way of light. And all the recordings are available to you from the previous months if you do decide to just start now. Look how gracious we are, right? You're welcome. That's what the sun does, just gives. So, and then you have something on that before we shift?
No, I want to just make sure everyone knows that as you come into the third round, you truly become initiates of light and the sun. And there will be breakthroughs, and there will be more to see. You will begin to see and hear more. So continue your process if you're in process, and begin the process if you are not. And I think that's it for today.
Yeah. Be the light. Get right light.
We thank you for joining us. We hope that we will see you next Thursday for our live stream. We give you the greetings of In Lakesha Veritas with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. Thank you.